In this video, I'm going to show you the exact same Facebook ads process that I use to generate hundreds of junk removal leads each month for a bunch of my clients across different markets. If you're new here, my name is Armando and I do online marketing for local service businesses so they can get more leads and make more sales. So if that's something that you're interested in, click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of the strategies that I put out weekly. Okay, so our starting point is going to be the Facebook Ads Manager, and if you don't know how to get here, it's facebook.com/ads manager. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you are on the campaign tab and your ad account is the right one for this business. Once you're ready, what you want to do is click on the green create button that's under the campaign tab. What you're going to see here is a new screen. So some of you may have the old screen that has all the objectives broken down in a list format, but recently Facebook has consolidated all the objectives into 6 simplified objectives. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is choose leads as your overarching category here. So make sure you select leads and click continue. Once you do that, Facebook's actually going to build the campaign structure here on the left hand side, and it's going to bring you to the campaign name screen. What you want to do here is give this a name that actually makes sense to you and for your business. Next, just kind of gloss over this area here. Make sure that special categories are not selected. Since we're doing junk removal, you really don't need that. Make sure that A/B test and campaign budget optimization are both off. Once you've done that, click on the new ad set from the left hand pane. And this is going to bring you to the screen where we're actually going to be able to set up demographic information, your targeting, interest, placements of these ads for your junk removal company. Starting from the top, the very first thing that you want to do is name this, again, something that actually makes sense to you. The naming convention doesn't really matter. It's just whatever is going to be the easiest thing for you to name. What you need to do next is choose the conversion location. This is the place where the actual conversion will take place, where the customer will take an action, essentially. So the next thing that you need to do is make sure you select instant forms from these options below. Once you click instant forms, the next thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that your Facebook page is actually the correct one. If you've got more than one, make sure that you check it here and that you're advertising from the right page. If this is your first time running lead ads, you're going to have a little disclaimer here that says that you need to view the terms of service, and you're going to click accept terms of service if you've never run ads before. If you've run ads before and you've accepted the terms, you're going to get a message that looks exactly like mine here that says that you've already accepted them and that you just need to view them if you wish to view them. Next thing that you want to do is make sure dynamic creative is shut off and head on over to the budget and scheduling section. Now here you have 2 options, daily budget and lifetime budget. I usually set everything up with a daily budget. And I'll start off with something like 10 to 15 bucks a day to test the waters and see which one's going to actually perform the best for me. Once I set a daily budget, I just want to gloss over the start date and the end date and make sure that there is no end date selected. So unselect the end date if that is checked for you. After that, you're going to head on over to the audience section. This is where you're going to decide what market you're going to run your ads in. So the very first thing is underneath United States, you're going to enter your location that you want these ads to run in, your city, your subdivision, zip code, etc., and just search for it in here. Once you do that, you're going to come to the age section. You're going to adjust this accordingly to your market, depending on the people that buy from you. Usually, you're going to want to select a minimum and a maximum age. Also gender, but if you're just getting started with this, my recommendation is to leave it at all genders and let the data tell you which gender is going to outperform the next. The next thing is detailed targeting. This is where you'll want to enter targeting if you've got that, if you've done the research for this as well. And one thing that I do want to mention in here is make sure that this option that says reach people beyond your detailed targeting selection is unchecked. Make sure that that is blank and not checked. Once you've set up all your targeting and your demographic information, the last thing that you need to set up on this section is the placements. Now, I do not recommend that you run automatic placements. Click manual placements, and what I typically do is just run everything off of mobile devices. That seems to give me the best results and the most affordable cost per lead with the higher quality lead as well. So the other thing that I do here is I don't run them across all placements. I make sure that I run them in the news feeds only. So you want to select and uncheck all those other placements and just leave the feeds running. Once you've done this, the next thing that you want to do is come on over to the ad level on the left hand pane here. Just click it and it's going to bring you to a screen that is going to be the place where we're actually going to be building the ad, setting up the creative and the copy, and building out our form to capture leads. Now, before I dive into this section here, I do want to mention that if you're just getting started with this and you want somebody to handle it for you, we do have a special offer for you where we're actually going to give you the exact same ad copy, the exact same creative and ad structure that I use across my junk removal clients. All we're going to do is set it up in your own ad account and change out your service area. If you want more information on that, there's a link in the description. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump in here. What you want to do is click on the ad name. And again, the same thing, just name it something that actually makes sense to you. Look this over if you have an Instagram account set up and you want to connect that, or you chose a different placement in the previous step, then you want to make sure that that is also selected. From the ad setup section, what we'll want to do is we want to create an ad. And it's going to give us a couple options in here if we want to create a carousel or a single image. For now, just do single image. This is typically how I set everything up, single image or video. And then you're going to want to come to the create ad creative section. And what you want to do here is click on add media and click on add images. From this screen, you're going to select the image or video that you want to run. You're going to make sure your dimensions are okay and set up properly if this thing needs to be cropped or whatnot. You're going to hit done, and this is going to populate the image into your ad. The next thing that you want to do is click on primary text area and fill out your ad copy. Keep in mind that offers work really well, especially local. You want to call out the audience and the people who this is for. You want to just be straight up in the ad copy, tell them what you need to do, what they need to do, and what you got to offer, and where they need to go to get it. Once you add that, the next thing that you want to do is fill out a strong headline so that people can actually stop and click on over. And then lastly, on this section here, the call to action needs to match. So if in your ad copy you tell somebody to click learn more, then you're going to want to select learn more. If you tell them to get a quote, then you're going to want to select the quote, download offer, whatever it is that your call to action is. Here. Once you're done with that, you're going to come to this section that says instant forms, and this is where you're actually going to build out the lead form that is going to be used for people to give you their information. So you can see that I've got a bunch here. If you've already got one built out, you can pick it from here. If not, what you want to do is just click create new form, and then you're going to get a window that shows up to create the form. So when you click on create new form, you're going to get this window that's blank in here. The very first thing is give the form a name, something that makes sense to you. You can set up whether you want more volume of leads or higher intent kind of leads in here. The next step is going to be the intro section in here. It's going to give you the option to select a new image that goes in this form, just like you see here, or to leave the image that belongs to the ad. I prefer to leave it in the ad just for consistency. Next thing, you're going to be asked for a headline and a greeting. You can fill out whatever you want in there that is going to make people click on over. Lastly is going to be questions. These are the questions that people are going to be asked in order for them to submit information and become a lead for you. So if you need a name, email, phone number to quote, address, zip code, that kind of stuff, you want to make sure that you add it in this form so that people can go ahead and get that information to you the right way. Lastly, you're going to need a private policy page. Head on over to your website, just copy your private policy link, plug it in the link section, and just label this privacy or terms of service or something similar to that. Lastly, you're going to have a review screen. This is the screen that looks like this that people are going to have to slide to submit the information, just to make sure that you're not getting bogus info or that somebody didn't submit this by accident. And the last screen here is the actual thank you screen. I typically like to add one final step or an additional thing that they have to do, like book your time slot or give us a call or save an additional 5% by doing ABC, so that people are reaching out to you instead of you having to always chase all of them through the forums. The last thing you're going to want to do is click this green publish button. This is going to send the ad to Facebook. It's going to go through a review process, and then the ad will start to run as soon as they approve the ad copy and the creative, targeting, and all that stuff. Now I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to retrieve these leads and close a higher percentage of them. So by default, these leads are inside the Facebook Lead Center. So what you want to do is come to the main page that you're going to run these ads from, and on the left-hand pane, you're going to click on Lead Center. This is going to open up a sort of almost CRM section that Facebook has, and this is where it actually puts all the leads that come in through those lead forms. The downside to this is that you have to manually go on Facebook from a desktop to click on each one of these leads and call them from here or send them an email. This is a little bit of a pain because oftentimes you're out in the field and you don't have time to sit down and call these people and return their message or get back to them in a fast enough time. And so sometimes by the time you get back to them, they've already gone with somebody else, or you can't get a hold of them. So the way we fix that problem is through a little bit of automation. When a lead comes into Facebook, I showed you how you can go to the Lead Center and grab that lead once you get a notification that you have leads. Sometimes you won't get a notification from Facebook and you're going to have to go in there and figure out that you've got leads. So to fix that problem, we've set up an entire automatic system that handles everything else after the lead comes in. So once a Facebook form is submitted for our client, the contact is immediately added into our dashboard here, and an email is sent immediately to the lead, thanking them and letting them know that we're going to reach out to them right away. Immediately, within a minute, a text message also goes out to the lead so that we can get more information and start a conversation with them. So it says something like, hey, hello, you've reached ABC Junk Removal Company. Let us know how we can help you. Let's start this conversation, right? We wait for a reply. If the contact or the lead does not reply within a matter of 30 minutes or so, we want to send another message asking them if they still need this service. If they do reply that they need this service, we either ask for a picture or we go through the process of having them book on a calendar for an actual quote so that you can go there and physically see the job and you're able to close more of that business once you're there. In the event that the customer or the client, the lead does not In the event that the lead does not respond within our time frame, we follow up with them once every 24 hours. On the second day, we follow up with them twice to make sure that they still need the service. If they say they don't need it, we just say no problem. Thanks anyways. If they do say that they do need it, we put them back through our system for them to schedule a quote for us to go out there automatically. At the same time, you are getting a text from our notification system letting you know that you have a lead that came in and that the system is doing its job and contacting these people right away so that you don't lose them to your competitors. This allows you to focus on your job and you're not having to worry about picking up the phone, returning voicemails at night, and checking, all the stuff that you have to do while you're on the job site and not have to lose any of these leads that already are coming your way. So if you don't want to mess with any of this stuff and you just are looking for somebody to set up the ads for you, we're going to set up the exact same ad copy, ad structure, and creative that we use to generate hundreds of junk removal leads each month. And we'll set everything up in your own ad account. And if that's something that you're interested in, click the link in the description to get more information on that. If this video was super helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. And we'll see you guys on the next one.